Reactive training systems.
There seems to be different understandings of periodization depending on what level you're at. At one level, maybe a more beginner level, periodization seems to be kind of this mystery thing where there's all these different concepts and terms, and a lot of it gets really confusing. But then you start to understand a little bit more, you do a little bit more homework, and you understand more of what goes into each different periodization scheme, different models and strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that. And it's usually at that time that people start having periodization fights, where they get into discussions and sometimes even arguments over which method is better, this is better than that, linear is old and outdated, DUP is more research backing it, and so on and so on and so on. But then when you move past that, you realize that even though there's all these different concepts, nobody uses any of that stuff in the real world anyway. It's always a combination. You know, they'll have elements of DUP, or they'll have elements of block periodization, or, you know, various different concepts like that. So then the mystery deepens, I guess, that how do you combine these? How do you make these different periodization models work together? How do you amplify the strengths and minimize the weaknesses? And then when you move past that, you start to understand that it's all about the application piece anyway. It's all about what are you having the athlete do, what does the athlete do under the bar, and that periodization is just really a method of organizing your training. The point of all this is that there's confusion at all these different levels, and the confusion can be cleared up. It's a matter of knowledge in most cases. In October, next month, starting on October 6th actually, we're running a class in RTS Classroom called Mesocycles. We are going to discuss in depth different periodization concepts, basically how to build a really good training cycle. The classroom last quarter was about microcycles and how to build a really good training week. Now this one's about how to build a really good training cycle. The idea is that we're going to learn about all these different periodization concepts. We're going to dig into it and learn about them in detail. So even if you are familiar with it, you'll probably pick up something that you didn't know before. And then once we get past that, we're going to have a framework and have this framework as a way of building a training cycle. And the framework itself is just that, it's a framework, but we'll talk in terms of concepts. How do you combine different periodization methods, different periodization strategies? How do you come up with your own strategy? And how to fit that to the context of the lifter, because each lifter's details are different, and that has to be accounted for in writing a really good training program. And since writing a really good training program is the goal of this, we're going to cover all that. So if you'd like to sign up for Classroom Mesocycles, like I said, it's going to be starting in October, so signups are available now. They won't be available forever, so go ahead and jump on that. We'll put a link in the description for how you can find more information, including a full lesson plan and publication dates for each of the lessons, and you can go ahead and register for Mesocycles if you're interested. That's all for this week. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.
Reactive training system.